What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Pitching Ninja's filthiest pitches of the day. I am Pitching Ninja, and I'm here with the man who was called the Gingerbread Man by his elementary school classmates, Will Leahey.
I wasn't a full ginger growing up, Ninja, but enough about my hair color and my childhood traumas. I'm here to talk about Blake Snell. Snellzilla had 15 Ks in 6 innings. That's the ultimate pitching ninja performance. No surprise coming from the all-time leader in K per 9, Blake Snell, who had an absolutely hideous start to the season, but has been dominant of late. Ninja, what made him so dominant last night?
Dude, it was his typical combination of fastball and curveball, just over and over again dominating with it. I did a couple overlays here, and you can see why that combination is so deadly to hitters. He just throws with reckless abandon, same mechanics on both of those pitches. And as a hitter, you're swinging at that aggressiveness and that curveball. Man, it is absolutely disgusting. Snell became the only pitcher to strike out 15 hitters without throwing more than 6 innings in the history of baseball. That's how filthy Blake Snell is. An absolute historic performance. Blake Snell is on fire. What was that stat, Will? His last 4 games, he's given up 2 earned runs, and I think that's only 2 in 1 game. The rest of them, none.
Yep, that's correct. Last 4 starts, he's only given up a single run in one of the games. His ERA, he started off with a 9 ERA. His next game, it exploded up to 12 and change. And since that, he's been dropping every single start. But he had such a putrid beginning that there was nowhere else to go but down.
Yeah,
but
I mean, I don't like the fact that, the pitchers that sit out seem to struggle at first. I mean, Blake Snell, obviously a dynamic pitcher. He's got filthy stuff. I mean, he had 14 whiffs on his curveball yesterday, 30 total whiffs for the game. A tour de force by Blake Snell. And he is like constantly the tale of 2 Snells. I mean, you have the Blake Snell that is just god awful at times, and the Blake Snell that is the striking outest pitcher baseball history.
Multiple Cy Youngs.
Right. Like, this is absolutely the most dominant pitching performance of the year, and one of the most dominant pitching performances of all time. I actually wanted them to leave Blake Snell in the game. I know he usually doesn't pitch deep. I know his pitch count was high, but he had a shot, a realistic shot, at 21 strikeouts this game. If pitch counts weren't a thing, let him go. Screw it. What does he need an arm for? Snell and the Giants rocked the Rockies 4-1. He faced Ryan Feltner, who had 6 Ks in 6 innings, giving up 1 run, had this knee-buckling curveball in the sweeper. Now, the rest of my whip around the league, and boy, there was some good pitching yesterday. The Cubs dominated the Royals 9-4. This, I thought, was going to be the marquee pitching matchup of the day, and it fizzled out. Shota Imanaga had 3 Ks in 5 2/3 innings, giving up 3 runs. He had these fastballs and splitters. And Seth Lugo had only 2 Ks in 6 1/3 innings, giving up 6 runs. He had his cutter and slurve and this 3,519 RPM curveball, but wasn't the Seth Lugo that we've known to love. Brandon Pfaadt had 4 Ks in 6 innings, giving up 5 runs. He had these wicked sweepers as Pfaadt fought through and knocked out the Pirates 9-5.
Pfaadt pitched well, but he did give up the dime of the day, and it is this cruise missile here by O'Neal Cruz. Just hits the absolute dog shit of the ball, Ninja. Spanks this one of the more impressive home runs of the season.
I saw this live, and freaking O'Neal Cruz is a freak of nature. Tyler Anderson had 10 strikeouts in 7 innings, giving up 3 runs, but the Angels lost to the A's 3-1. Yes, the invincible A's. Anderson had this cutter and changeup. He faced Mitch Spence, who had 3 Ks in 6 innings, giving up 1 run, and had these cutters and sliders. In the nightcap of the doubleheader, the Giants shut out the Rockies 5-0. Hayden Birdsong, a.k.a. Mr. Tambourine Man, was outstanding with 8 strikeouts and 5 scoreless innings, or maybe it was just the Rockies can't hit. But no, Birdsong's stuff is filthy. Look at these curveballs turn. He also had these changeups, and I love his changeup. He has a unique grip. You can see that spike grip on his changeup. I know Tread Athletics teaches this. I don't know that he got it from Tread Athletics, but it's a kick changeup basically get the seam orientation right and make this pitch drop without heavy pronation. He faced Tanner Gordon, who had 5 Ks in 6 innings, giving up 4 runs, had these sliders and changeup. The Yankees beat the Red Sox 11-8. Neither starter was great, so we're going to skip it, although Cutter Crawford did have this Expelliarmus fastball.
It was another epic game, Ninja, and the Sox, they blew it hard.
I was letting you fast forward through this, but apparently you want to inflict pain on yourself.
Well, I mean, I like that this rivalry
It was a great game. It was a great game.
Yankees Red Sox is good for baseball, and the fact that both of these teams are fighting for a playoff spot and one's an underdog, we kind of got a David and Goliath situation. It's everything you'd hope for.
The Nats shot down the Cardinals 14-3. Jake Irvin had 5 Ks in 5 1/3 innings, giving up 2 runs, and had this 2-seamer and curveballs. Brian Wu had 3 Ks in 4 innings, giving up no earned runs. He had this fastball at the knees and this sweeper as the Mariners drowned the hapless White Sox 6-3. He faced the Trap King, Eric Fetty, who had 4 Ks in 4 innings, giving up 3 runs and had these sweepers. Squaw! Max Meyer had 3 Ks in 4 innings, giving up 3 runs as the Marlins swam past the Brewers 7-3. He had these fastballs and sliders. He faced Aaron Savali, who had 3 Ks in 5 1/3 innings, giving up 2 runs and had this cutter and curveball. Ronel Blanco had 9 Ks in 4 1/3 innings, giving up 4 runs and had this slider and changeups as the Astros edged the Dodgers 7-6. He faced Justin Robleski, who had 2 Ks in 5 2/3 innings, giving up 2 runs and had this slider.
Shohei had an epic jack this game as well.
That ball's crushed. Second deck.
Tarek Skubal had 8 Ks in 7 innings, giving up 2 runs. He had his heaters up to 99 miles an hour and painted with his sinker, and of course, had these filthy changeups. And honestly, I thought this was like a B+ Tarek Skubal effort, maybe a B. He still had 8 Ks in 7 innings as Skubal and the Tigers mauled the Twins 7-2. He outdueled Joe Ryan, who had 8 Ks in 6 innings, giving up 3 runs and had the splitter and sweepers. Zach Littell had 5 Ks in 7 scoreless innings, giving up 3 hits as the Rays blanked the Reds 4-0. He had his slider and splitters. Faced Andrew Abbott, who had 2 Ks in 4 innings, giving up 4 runs and had this changeup and this elevated sweeper. Kevin Gausman had 8 strikeouts in a complete game. Woo! Giving up 3 runs on 4 hits as the Blue Jays flew past the Rangers 7-3. He had his 4-seam fastball and 2-seam fastball working as well as these splitters. In another complete game, Tyler Phillips had 4 Ks in a shutout as the Phillies beat the Guardians 8-0. He had these changeups and sweepers, and we owe Tyler Phillips a complete game shutout. Round of applause. Phillips outdueled Cookie Carrasco, had 5 Ks in 3 2/3 innings, giving up 6 runs, and had this slider and curveball. The Pirates grounded the Orioles 9-4. Michael King had 9 Ks in 6 1/3 innings, giving up 2 runs. He had a sweeper and 2-seamer, but his changeups were the pitch of the game. He had 7 swings and misses on his changeup, and they were filthy. He faced Dean Kramer, who had 7 Ks in 6 innings, giving up 1 earned run, and had this backdoor cutter and dirty splitters. The Braves shut out the Mets 4-0. Spencer Schwellenbach. Let's go to Schwellenbach, Texas, where Raylo Freed and the boys. Spencer Schwellenbach had 11 strikeouts in 7 scoreless innings. I am yelling so loud, it is blowing out my ears right now. He gave up only 2 hits and 0 walks. He has walked only 1 hitter this entire month. His big pitch of this game were his sliders. He picked up a sword on it, but also overpowered with his heaters and had these dirty splitters. A fantastic outing by Spencer Schwellenbach. He outdueled Tyler McGill, who had 4 Ks in 6 innings, giving up 4 runs, had this slider, changeup, and of course, his good old American spork. Now onto my filthiest relievers. Dennis Santana had 5 Ks in 1 2/3 innings in relief. Thanks to these sliders, he had a 27 K per 9 for this game. Camilo Doval had this painted slider. Jimmy Garcia had this sweeper. Sean Jelly had this knuckle curve. Clay Holmes had this wicked sweeper. Andres Munoz had this slider. And Blake Trinan had this White Castle special to Altuve, absolute filth. We're not going to talk about what he did the next inning. My top 5 filthiest pitches of the day yesterday. At number 5, Tark Skubal and his changeups. At number 4, Mr. Tambourine Man, Hayden Birdsong and his changeups. At number 3, Schwellenbach, Texas, and his sliders. At number 2, Justin Martinez and this 102-mile-an-hour inside two-seamer, as well as this 91-mile-an-hour splitter. This dude has some of the filthiest stuff on earth. And at number 1, who do you think it is, Will? I'll give you one guess. It rhymes with Blake Snell.
It's Blake Snell.
You got it. Good job for all his stuff. And now, my pitching ninja moment of Zen. Check out the arm strength and command of this fan, as he almost pegs Laz Diaz with this ball. He was signed instantly by the Rockies and started the second game of this doubleheader, or was booted from the stadium. And shout out to the Pitching Ninja fan on Instagram who asked me to put a tail on this, correctly called this as a moment of Zen today. But putting a tail on this, it's tough. The camera was panning. I was going to try, but it's really, really kind of tough. But good call. My picks of the day today, I'm going to start out with DJ Hurst for 4 Ks or more. Then take Hunter Green for 7 Ks or more. Take Bryce Miller for 6 Ks or more. And top it off with Garrett Crochet for 7 Ks or more. What would your picks of the day be?